Hi, it's Joey Reynolds with the Reynolds Rap. The Greeks have backed into their crisis, and they think they're going to get out of it by selling yogurt. And that's the most famous export. These are the people who invented democracy, and they're the early everything, including the church. And they own much of the world. They were the first warriors in many ways. They fought the Romans, and I don't know. The Greeks are in trouble because they're stubborn, and the Germans loaned them money and they want it back. The Germans are also very stubborn, so you got a couple of places that are having a loggerhead. You're only allowed a certain amount of money at your ATM, and I am too because I don't have anything in it. That's the main reason. You can't take out what you didn't put in. But in Greece, you can't take out what you did put in. And people are keeping their money in a sock. I used to keep my money in a sock, but a midget picked my ankle. I have a different view of the world than most people because I'm sitting here with my iPad, my iPod. That's not something I smoke, and I'm watching the world through my rose-colored eye. You see, I got pink eye. I got that from staying up nights looking at television, waiting for something good. In television, they're ruining that now like they did radio. They're putting all these guys on TV to talk in the morning like we used to do on the morning shows on radio with the Morning Zoo. Everybody's doing a Morning Zoo, except they're not talented. Many of them are, but for the most part, it falls short of the glory of God. I remember years ago when Bob Saget was doing a morning show on CBS along with Mariette Hartley, which is not a hotel, and they were on the air on CBS doing comedy, and comedy didn't work in the morning. It still don't. And even David Letterman was on at 10 a.m. when he did the first show before he went to NBC late night. And you know what? He didn't have an audience. You can't get people to laugh in the morning, except on radio. Radio seems to be goofy enough to where you can hide behind your giggle in a car, I guess. But this is an interesting experiment. Turn the sound up on this and turn the picture off, or at least don't watch me, and it's become radio. See, I'm convertible. I'm a radio and TV guy. I am truly a simulcaster because I learned that at KOA in Denver when I did an all-night show that was on both radio and TV. And I never took phone calls because they don't look good on TV. And I didn't do anything visual for the radio audience because they couldn't see it. So you had to kind of learn how to please both audiences, and that's what I've been doing. I've been working on this for years. And here I am. You could turn the sound on this thing and listen to it and hear a radio show. And at the same time, you can look at me, and it's mostly uneventful. I want to mention something about our society. You got Cheech and Chong, if you recall. They kind of brought everything together with the Confederate flag rolling papers that they used. And they are Mexican, and it was about marijuana. So all those issues have now come to play separately. Even this week at the NASCAR, they don't want to use the Confederate flag at NASCAR, which is a Southern sport and a rebel sport, because the Confederacy was a rebellious move. And so we're kind of erasing history. Blacks don't want to have that stain. I think we just can't. You can't screw around with what happened. Otherwise you'll have to go back and not allow people to watch Ben-Hur because the Romans are mad. I'm Italian. We don't want to see the Godfather stuff. I mean, my family didn't kill anybody that I know of, although we've threatened a lot. And speaking of that, we ought to do the banking system in Greece. The Italians in Little Italy in New York should do the banking system, because if you don't pay, you break a leg. And that's how people will respect the banking system, is that if you're going to have some physical harm done to you, two Italians show up to collect the money. See the stereotype? You see what you think of us now? And are we going to erase that? I don't think so. You'll have to start by killing Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese and taking them down the path. Oh, yeah, I want to mention one other thing here before I Reynolds wrap it, and that is that Donald Trump has lost the show on NBC, and he's going to be replaced by a midget woman Mexican, and she's going to do The Apprentice right now. And that'll make some people happy for about a week and a half until there's no ratings and no sponsor. And then that show will be in the toilet. It's just all part of what we're doing through our change. And I got to get rid of my Confederate flag underwear anyway. I think it's outworn its usefulness. For the gay pride, the fly is on the other side. Thank you very much. It's a Reynolds Rap. Am I in trouble?